What up, guys and gals? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. Okay, so basically, like I said last week, we're gonna continue to go up, and we did. And then as we close to the resistant, the targeting point, we came back down again. So right now at this point, we will see how it goes when we go into the technical. Okay, but let's look at the possible, fundamental that could drive the stock lower or higher. Okay, so at this point, the infection rate, I mean, we are numb to this number now, and we did not double, so we kind of like flatten out at this point. But the economy is now open. Okay, so the question is, how much spending will the people be spending, and then how much of this gonna causing this the second wave? All right, so that's the biggest question because right now people are gathering without masks. I see people in the neighborhood, and I see people are like just walking around, talking to each other, don't wear masks and not keeping distant, distancing themselves. So, I mean, at this point, this gonna fuse this, and I'm assuming it's gonna be around June or July. That's where we're gonna see the uptick in cases again. Because right now Texas is open, but yet the rate is still high, like 1,000 cases in a day, and like they haven't gone down in cases. So think about that, and we haven't had like the testing. That's another question, like we don't have enough tests, and I'm not sure how well we do on the testing part at this point. That's another question. So at this point, I think that is going to be the determining factor. Most likely, the second wave is going to be the down, and then the positive news on the treatment front. We did the remdesivir has an emergency approval from the FDA. I'm still skeptical about this thing. It's too new, and plus, it's an IV medication. Have to be given. So I mean, there's some bias there. I'm assuming, and then there's politics and other stuff at this point. The only thing I'm thinking that could change the game, to be honest, is the hydroxychloroquine and zinc, because there are independent studying right now on that part. So if the independent study come out and they have good result on it, because some of the study that came out earlier for this thing is not like very well designed, and is very like they just want to dismiss this medication. I don't know what the reason was, to be honest. But at this point, there are some independent study right now for this, and like I said, Korea has been using it, and look at the case number. You could find it is very low. The death case is very low. So just think about it. I think this might change the game here, because I mean it does has QT prolongation, which is the heart problem, and it does cause like drug interference with a lot of medication, but depend on patient. So, and we could we could choose a patient that qualify for this and give them this right away. The earlier the better, because this prevent the replication of the virus. So if you do give this as quickly within maybe 2 days of symptom, or not symptom exposure, or whatever the test, because the thing is we don't have the testing, and so the early the treatment of this is questionable, because the test for people is not available, and then sometimes it takes like a couple of days to just get the result. So by then it's kind of too late to give this medication. So that's the thing. So I mean, hopefully there's gonna be some good news from the independent, and that gonna fuse the stock up, because this is an oral medication and it's cheap. It's like $1 a pill. Okay. And then positive news from the vaccine. I mean, Pfizer said that they might have a vaccine by September, so that's a questionable thing. I mean, I'm skeptical, because we did not have a vaccine for HIV yet all this year, 30 years plus now. I mean, there might be a vaccine for HIV, but they want to release it because antiviral medication are making so much money. So I mean, it's a lot of things that it's very questionable. All right, so I mean, it's possible. Possible we could get up September, but give it 6 months for administration development, or just making the vaccine and then distribute and then giving to the patient. That's not a 6 months. So we anyway, I think it's a year out, but it's gonna fuse the market up definitely if there is some kind of news on that. Antibody testing, I haven't heard anything about it yet, so they haven't talked about it lately. And then this is what I'm thinking. This is the fusing the market, the third stimulus package, because they're not stopping. What they're gonna print money until the printer broke. So that's the thing. So I mean, this gonna give the market an up move, because on Tuesday, on Wednesday, the Fed came out and like, yo, we're gonna back you, whatever, and the market went up even though the GDP was negative 4.8, I think. So that's the thing. So right now, I think this is gonna fuse the upside. Okay, and then any positive news about the treatment of vaccine going to help with that. So right now we're in kind of limbo situation, and the Fed buying everything. I think if we do retest the low of March, I think the Fed gonna come in and start to buy everything. But at this point, this is still out of picture. Okay, let's go to the con. Okay, so second wave, I think this is most likely, because the way I'm seeing people acting right now, you know, until the second wave hit again, I think after the second wave, people are gonna start to change the psychology of it. But right now, it's not incurred to them yet. So this food shortage, I mean, you are experiencing it right now, especially with meat, chicken, and pork and all that stuff. So I think after the second wave, this is going to be a problem, huge problem. Like company failure, most likely in August. If we have a second wave, oil, most likely, okay, and reinfection, that's still a question. Virus staying dormant, that's another question. Unemployment at this point, I think the people are numb to this number right now, 30 millions plus. That's like maybe 15 to 20% of our working population. So that's pretty high. So I think we might, there's some say 50 million. So we'll see what happened here. But the thing is, with the unemployment, it's going to go with this stimulus package. So it kind of balances that out. And the worst thing is that the Fed has no guidance. So it's just saying that, no one knows anything, including the Fed at this point. All they know is printing money right now. So that's the only weapon they have. So that's it. Food price inflation, you are seeing that. It's happening. I've been shopping for the past month, and I know meat prices has gone up. Egg, you cannot get that for $1 something anymore. The cheap kind of eggs. Now you have to pay like double the price, like at least $2.30 for 12 for a dozen. So think about that. That's 100% inflation. Before you could get like if you go to Aldi, you could get like egg for like $1.10. Now you have to pay around $2.30 per 12. So I mean, depending on where you're shopping, I don't know, but right now that's what I'm seeing. So food inflation, definitely. Chicken, pork, beef, all and jacked up on the prices. And this week right here we have the monthly unemployment. So we'll see what happened to that one. I'm not sure if it does anything, to be honest. And people are gathering, so that's what people are doing right now. So anyway, that's what is the fundamental of this. And let's go to the chart, guy. So this is the Dow Jones. Okay, this is the daily Dow Jones part. Okay, so at this point right now, the uptrend is kind of broken at this point. So I kind of like, I'm going to just remove it at this point. And I kind of move the channel in a little bit, and I create this channel here. Okay, so we have a new channel, and then as you could see here, right, I say it's gonna this is the resistance. It did come up to the resistance and then came back down. This is on Wednesday here, where that's when the Fed said they're gonna back everything. It did not close above the resistance. See, you could see that, right? And that's like a doji here. This is like even in star formation, as you could see that. But the only thing is that the volume is not there. I don't see a lot of selling volume here, so it's not really significant at this point. So at this point, I think this is going to be the range here. This is going to be the support, and this is resistance. So we might stuck in this range. We might just go like this in the range, and until until we either have good news or bad news, and that's gonna either move the stock up or down. So right now at this point, I think what's gonna be more prominent is the bad news, the second wave. I think by mid-June, I think we're gonna have a second wave. The case sort of pop up again, and then that gonna scare people off, and that I think gonna down, because right now treatment wise, only the thing like on the hydroxychloroquine, if the independent study and they come out with good result, that might change the game. I think that's the only thing that would change the game. But for now, I think we will go in between. Okay, so this point right here, we still have the 20 days, the 50 days, so this could be the support right now. We'll see if we go below this, and if we go below this support line, I think we're gonna go down to this point. Okay, and then this point. But for now, we'll see. So right here, I think if we could go below this point, just this point itself, we're gonna have a lower low. So that's something to watch. But I think here is the support for this part. So this is the range for the Dow Jones. Okay, and the Dow Jones is fairly strong. And it's Nasdaq. Okay, so Nasdaq right now finally broke the downtrend. It's close below the downtrend line, but it is still in the up move. Okay, and look at this right here. This is a minor resistance. They did not close above this at all. No, they did went higher, did not close above that. So that's something to think about. Okay, and then we move down right away on here. The volume is a little bit up over here, but it's not really significant. So right now, I think this is going to be the range. So if it's go below this, it's going to create a lower low. But we do have the two moving average here, the 50 and the 200 days. We'll see how it is. So right now, this is the range at this point. I don't know if we're going to break above this at this point, because Amazon reported we didn't go up, we went down. Okay, Facebook went down. Oh, Facebook's kind of like stay up somewhat. And then what else? Google, I think, went down. And then Tesla, oh, that was crazy. But yeah, so basically, I think the tech might have kind of petered out at this point, based on the earning right now. So we'll see. But right now, this is the range. I would say go back to the high. I doubt it's gonna happen for the tech. Okay, tech is still the strongest right now. All right, and then we have IWM. Okay, IWM, I think fairly strong. It did move up here. I say it's gonna move up, continue to move up, and now it's moved back down here, but it's close above the support level. Okay, and above the right at the 50 days moving average. So right now, and the volume somewhat increased, but it's not significant. So right now at this point, unless it's break under this and it's close under this, I think the downtrend, the uptrend right now is still intact right here. This channel right now, you could see. All right. And then let me see here. So right now the IWM, and then the transportation, it has broken down, and then it's below the 50 days moving average. Right now it's the weakest, and it's not supporting the Dow at all. The Dow is actually pretty decent, and this is weak. And then right now, Warren Buffett just sold all his airplane share too, so that's gonna fuse the market to the downside for transportation. So once transportation is broken, I'm not sure you could trust the Dow theory anymore. So that is something to think about here. And then this is the range to look for. If it goes below this, we have a lower low. Okay, so I think it's a possibility. So transportation might be leading the downside this time. All right, and then last but not least, the SPY. Okay, SPY, like I say, I say this is the target to the upside. It did move up, right, and then it went back down. And like I say, Wednesday, the Fed came out, GDP negative 4.8, I think, and then the Fed came out saying, well, I will do anything to boost the market up. And then we went up, and then we closed like this, and then we got that reversal formation right now at this point. But volume is not significant. And then like I said, this is going to be the range, you know, this 300 and 271. So if we go below this, then I guess we might start a downside. But until then, you know, we will see. But for now, you know what? Maybe I could change this now since it's already broken. I could just move this in here. All right. So basically, right now, I say we're gonna stuck in the range, and we're gonna move, and then until, you know, we have some kind of event that gonna change the course of it, then we will see. But for now, that's it, guys. Thank you for listen to my bullshit. Anyway, enjoy the new trading week, and happy trading, guys. Bye.